If I read off the statistics, the reports from scenes of crime as unemotionally as possible, it sounds as if I'm reading off a list of casualties from a literal war zone. Friday the 16th, Muizenberg, one dead, a 15-year-old boy, suspected gang related. Maitland, one dead, a 35-year-old man. Guguletu, one dead, a 24-year-old man. Attempted murders in Kraaifontein, Belhar. Early hours of Saturday morning. 8 dead, 6 died on scene. 1 died en route to hospital. 1 died in hospital, believed to be extortion related in Philippi East. Also in Philippi East, the Marcus Garvey area. 2 dead, a man aged 32 and a man aged 44. Multiple gunshot wounds. Monday night, Browns Farm. 1 dead, off-duty SAPS officer. Early Tuesday morning, Ndabeni. 4 dead, 3 women and 1 adult male. Maitland Cemetery on Voortrekker Road. 2 dead, 2 injured, believed to be gang related over the last 6 days. 21 fatalities, including 1 police officer, 1 child, including 8 victims in a single mass shooting. The Cape Crime Crisis Coalition has written its 3rd letter to the Western Cape Premier Alan Winde, calling for the Cape Flats to be declared a state of disaster. Llewellyn MacMaster joins me now on the line. Good morning, Llewellyn. I said to read as unemotionally as possible, but of course, 21 people killed. These are, of course, people with families, loved ones, people with lives. Another letter to the Premier?
Yes, indeed, Lester. I think our first letter went out to him about the end of November last year. We followed it up, soon after that, and asked actually for a meeting to sit down and discuss this. We haven't received any response. We are aware of the fact that the cabinet has discussed this because Minister Andrew Murray responded to Bennett Bailey. And we are in partnership with SAFA Cape Town to say that they have discussed it. So we decided to follow it up, especially after the Premier indicated that they will declare a disaster, because of the fires and so on. And so we are putting very pertinent questions to him with regard to, what constitutes a disaster, because I think we want to bring something new in terms of this discussion and narrative about Cape and the responses from the state.
I'd just like your response quickly. The Premier putting on notice declaring disasters for fire and floods. Why, in your view, is mass organized violence treated differently?
Can you just repeat? Sorry.
Why do you think the crisis of crime is being treated differently when disasters are declared?
I think this is what we would love to discuss with him, to hear his thoughts, because when we look at it, what we saying is there's a painful inconsistency. Because for communities on the Cape Flats, gang violence is not just episodic. It is continuous. It's deadly. It's destabilizing, and it's not. I mean, the killing of people is central to that, but it's more than that. It's the disruption of communities. It is the effect of on service delivery and so on and so on. So for us, it is not just therefore a police matter, and it's in line with what government, what the state, the president, and everyone says. That we need a holistic approach to gang violence, but it's not forthcoming from the different departments.
Yeah.
And maybe the other aspect, Lester, is that I think everyone is sick and tired of the politicking,
Yeah.
with regard to this issue. And we say, we want to be a partner in finding lasting solutions. That's what we told the provincial commissioner when we met him last year. That process is also a bit stalled right now. We're hoping to meet again with the brigadier that he has appointed to sit down with us, because we say, and we said it, after the minister report back last year to civil society, we say we don't want to just sit and listen and sometimes struggle to get the plan. We hear about plans. We want to sit down and co-design with them. Yeah. Because clearly this crisis is deepening. I mean, there's the numbers as you've read, and this is just for a couple of days, you could say, a week. That's or what.
Right. Llewellyn, the operational difference between declaring a disaster for a natural event, floods and fire, is the response unlocks money. It unlocks resources. It cuts red tape. What would you want a state of disaster for organized violence in on the Cape Flats to look like? You explicitly reject the idea, which I agree with you, of deploying the SANDF, but what would that look like in terms of it just being more than a symbolic moment of declaring Cape Town a disaster area? What would it look like to you?
I think in our proposal, or how we interpret it, I think we're saying that a declaration would activate the Provincial Disaster Management Centre. Secondly, that it would unlock what we believe that, he must tell us, or the cabinet must tell us otherwise, that in itself will unlock emergency funding and rapid procurement. In other words, not going through long processes. It would also enable a single coordinated command framework. It would align the Western Cape Safety Plan, SAP's anti-gang strategies, and also municipal actions, what the City of Cape Town is doing, for example, and enable structured, accountable partnership with civil society. So these are the points that we want to strongly put forward on the table as a basis of the discussion.
Llewellyn MacMaster is the chairperson. I have to leave it there. Chairperson of the Cape Crime Crisis Coalition. He says it's no longer a policing issue; it's a full-blown humanitarian emergency.